welcome. My name is Tracy Ellis Ward. I'm the Senior Vice President for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion here at the Pacers Sports and Entertainment Organization. And I'm just really pleased to have this opportunity to share with you one of our business owners in the community that we're highlighting. As you know, that it's Black History Month, and for us at PS&E, we are fully embracing what that means and finding ways to leverage our community, which aligns with our strategic commitment in this space. We're very pleased to have Myles Turner, our very own, be with us here today to interview business owner Robert Reed. And so we are going to turn the mic over to you all to make way and dig deeper into what you do in the community and how you are an example of Black excellence in this space.
All righty. Well, I appreciate that, Tracy. So first and foremost, I just want to welcome you, Robert. I want to say thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to chat with me a little bit. And from my understanding, you created your own technology corporations and RCR at that. And I'm assuming that's your full name. So it's Robert C. Reed, correct?
That is correct. It is correct. Started out with one person and grew to 250.
Nice, man. Nice. That's awesome, man. You're able to start somewhere. So from my understanding, it's innovative information technology consulting firm here in Indianapolis, correct?
That's correct. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. And for the people who may not necessarily understand that, could you explain that a little bit further? For your casual a sports fan, I would say what exactly is it that you pursue in the community?
So RCR, we started this to kind of show two things. One is that minority companies can operate on the big stage. We felt like we had something to offer in the area of technology, similar to the larger companies, the Oracles, the IBMs of the world, with quality, not size, but with quality. So we were striving to do that.
Got you. Okay, so we'll segue a little bit. Tell me a little about yourself. My understanding, I know you're from Ohio, but whereabouts and where'd you go to school, to college, and
Yeah. So I'm originally from outside of Cleveland, an area called Maple Heights. My father moved us into the Heights to get a better education, which was the benefit to me. I was an honor student in high school, and math was my favorite subject. And went on to with a lot of scholarships, but I took Ohio State to get an education scholarship. So went to Ohio State and studied computer sciences in a multiple of colleges. Got a little sideways there, but got out of there in the science colleges. Back when I was going up, the curriculum wasn't quite defined, so it was a struggle back then. But we got through it.
All right, cool. Not to toot my own horn, I was an honor student myself. Yeah,
yes.
Feel me? So yes. One thing I did find super interesting about yourself, doing my own research, some of the projects you're able to work on. So you were able to work on kind of back in the day, the B-2 bombers, stealth guidance system, and a little bit of NASA space shuttle. Could you explain kind of what went into that? Because that's just not something you see every day. I think that's pretty dope.
No, it was a gift. A quick thing is when I was a student study. So one of my managers there went on to be a manager at Rockwell International in the aerospace industry. When he got his job as a manager, he brought me in as a junior manager because he liked the way I worked. Right. So I went in there and I rose up very, very fast. Within a year or two, I was leading departments, and so they started sending me to LA, Palmdale. And before I knew it, I was working on at the time, the guidance system for the stealth bomber. Way back in '85, we were working on the stealth bomber. People didn't even know it came out years later, but we were working on it back then. And on the space shuttle, I got to go to Palmdale and watch a launch and everything. So got to work on a lot of cool projects.
That's dope, man. So what drove you yourself to focus your career in STEM? And for ones that don't know, it's science, technology, engineering, and math.
Yeah, I hate to say it, I was a geek when I was growing up. Hey, and I love math.
Nothing wrong with that, man.
I was a gamer, just like the kids today. I was a gamer. We played different games, but I still was a gamer. I was an early adopter. I wrote for Raven Software. I used to create levels for some of their video games. So I love that. And just I had a teacher who pushed me that way. So
man, please own that. Please own that, bro. That's one thing I will say, that even being a professional athlete myself, man, I was a dork. I was a geek too, and it got us this far, right? So yeah, I love it. So you touched on it a little bit, but why did you start your own company? Was it something that pushed you to do it? Is it something you saw you didn't like? Like what made you start your own company?
I would say that when I was out of college, I had friends who got into their own businesses. And I always thought it was curious why you would do that, because I'm more of a loyalist, like get with a company, rise the ranks and wait your turn kind of thing. But they weren't doing that. These brothers was trying to make things happen. And I watched that, but I wasn't ready, right? I wasn't mature enough. When I was in Chicago, my travels took me to Chicago, and I was there during Mayor Washington. And in the early 90s, he was, before he passed away, and he was pushing minorities to get into business and start their own businesses. So I went to some of the classes, and that's kind of where I got the bug. I didn't execute it till 7 or 8 years later in 97, where I was here, and I was married now in Indianapolis, and I saw an opportunity, and I thought I'd give it a try, and I was blessed. It was blessed and grew from there.
Gotcha. So you would say that that the mayor himself is the one who pushed you to get into entrepreneurship, then, correct?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
All right. All right. So what were some of the challenges that you faced with it? I know it wasn't easy starting your own company, especially being a minority at that. Like, what are some challenges you faced? And please don't be afraid to go into detail.
Yeah. So first thing, I was very, very good at what I did. I actually went to do some studies at MIT and other places on mathematics and algorithms. So I knew what I was doing, and I knew I was one of the better at this in the country, but I didn't know anything about business. So when I started it and took this chance, I fell on my face many, many times, and I realized I needed a mentor. So the things is, because I'm not an MBA, I didn't study business in school, I studied science, and I had a lot of growing pains in that area. What I did is I found lots of mentors, lots of them around the city, who helped me a lot and taught me the game. And then I studied, and I finally learned how to run a business. I could do the business, but I had to learn how to run a business.
Got you. So, entrepreneurship is not something that, for young, Black teens or young, just Black, children out there. It's not the first thing that pops out. Like, it's not sexy per se. Like, I want to be a professional athlete. I want to, own my own bakery, anything, actually getting into this. What would you say, like, if you were talking to high school kids, talking to middle school kids right now, like, to encourage them to, like, get into their own like business in a sense?
So someone told me this statement a long time: nothing beats a quitter but a try. And I'll tell this folks, if you got an idea, you got a passion, and you got a love, there is a business there. There's a business there. You just got to find it and get a mentor to help you figure it out. And trust your support group is very important for this. You got to have support of your family.
I like that a lot, man. Especially being an athlete, my circle is everything to me personally. And
Absolutely.
A lot of people try to break that circle. A lot of people try to, come in between that, especially in your come up and once you start having more successes and whatnot. So I like that a lot. Well, a simple one in my books, but what motivates you to succeed? Just you personally?
Yeah, I don't want to compare myself to the athletes like you, because you guys have a really tough job in a very short time frame. But like you, I want to be the best at what I am. I like to learn, and I like to succeed, and I like to solve clients' problems. And if I solve the problem, everyone who works with me, why I stayed so long, why we grew so much, I don't like just to fix a problem. I like to solve the problem. There's a difference. A lot of people fix problems, but I like to solve the problem. So I know the problem will never come back again. So that's what drives me. And everybody who works with me know that's what I demand. I mean, I'll flexible with everything else, how you work, where you work, how you dress. And I don't care about any of that. But taking care of the client and truly solving their problem is a core principle we move by.
Got you. I know for me personally, I only did 1 year of college before I actually went to the league. But even in that 1 year going to college, I ran into, dang, I'm not sure what I want to do with my life, or I'm not sure what I want to study or what I want to get into. Did you always know you wanted to get into into the STEM industry, or did you kind of had different career paths that led you to the STEM industry, or was it just always just straight up like, this is what I'm going to do?
Yeah, for me, I was always, because I was so good at math. I mean, I was tutoring math in college as a freshman. So I've always been pushed this way, and I've always liked the love of math and the gaming side of it too, and why it worked and stuff. So for me, I'm one of the lucky ones who found it way back in high school and early in college and kind of stuck with it. But I know my daughters, they've changed their directions like 4 or 5 times, and I support that too. Everybody's journey is different. None is right, none is wrong, but stay on the journey to find what it is that gets you up in the morning, right? And makes you smile at night that you accomplish something. So yeah, it's different for everybody, but you can find it. Yeah.
Got you. Couple more here. So from my understanding, your wife is involved with your company as well, correct?
Yes, she is now. Yeah.
So I feel like that's something that's, very fortunate for you, and something that's a little, where I think is very rare. You have to mix, family and business at times. Could you, talk to that point?
So yeah, so when I started RCR, it was just me, and for many, many years it was just me. As we grow loud, she had her own career. She was very good at what she did. Well known around the city. Still one of the most gifted board people seek on all the boards in the city. She may be on 6 or 7 boards right now. So she had her own career, but she saw that there was a gap in what I was doing, which is around counting, HR, just sort of overall compliance stuff, which she is really good at. So she just kind of morphed into that role. And as soon as she got in, I gave it to her. So before she knew it, she was our chief, operations person for finance, for oversight of all of our financial operations and HR operations. And she's gifted and she's very, very good at it. And she always says she's going to leave it, but she never leaves it. And it was good.
That's a blessing.
Yeah.
So let's speak to the fruits of the labors in a sense. So I see here, the company itself has received, quite a bit of prestigious awards. The Governor's Technology Company of the Year Award, Indiana's Company of the Watch Award, Pathfinders Award, the Fall Golden Laurel Award for Excellence Technology. And, that's just to name a few. Like when you get that award or you start seeking the fruits of your labor, how does that make you feel personally?
It's accomplishments, right? I don't seek them, but I definitely appreciate them. The Madam Walker Award was a really big one because it was recognized by your community, right? The Governor's Award, now you're recognized by your state, and then not a lot of minority companies get that. That's very rare. So those awards are appreciated, and they say, okay, I'm doing things that are noticed, right? We are making a difference to our community. The most important ones we get was the ones we got for the Eskenazi Hospital, where we named 2 floors of the hospital where we giving back. And if you're ever on the 2nd floor of the Eskenazi Hospital, you'll see the RCR patient wing there. So those are the things we appreciate. Those are the give backs, and those are the awards we take as a team, that the whole team takes. We all love that.
Gotcha. I'm gonna look out for that one. Okay, this one might be a little more personal, but as you make it, especially in the Black community, it's almost like a crabs in a barrel kind of thing, right? Like you get to the top, and then you have so many people, either what they're calling you a sellout, or you're this or you're that. Like, how do you navigate the atonement of like your own people? The ones that you may have came up with who aren't as successful as you, but they see you down there. You get that hater tone to it. Like, how do you navigate that?
It's always there. I always say I'm a blessed company, so I rely on my spirituality for this, and I ignore it. Absolutely ignore it. I try to work with people, but I don't succumb to people. I work with anybody. So, I don't believe in that crabs in a barrel. I know it's a thing, and I see it. I've seen it. I don't subscribe to it. I think we always can do better, and I keep trying to bridge those gaps. And any Black business here that knows, especially if you deal with IT, they know what I stand for, where I stand on that. So I just ignore it and keep striving forward. I don't let that stop me from moving forward or doing things. Yeah.
That's huge, man, because I feel like, in both industries, there's a lot of people that can't handle that. They can't handle that pressure.
Yeah, it's frustrating. It'd be frustrating.
Especially when it's coming from your own people, your own community. So it's very frustrating. So moving on. So I know you're in your 25th year, correct? Being a company.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. Here's a 25 more on my end. But what's next for you? What's next for this company in a sense?
So next for us is I've been in Pumpy 25 years, and I'll be retiring here in, the next X number of years. So it's important for me to get RCR prepared for the next generation to continue to run it and take advantage of it and use it for their own successes, right? I think the company is a good testing ground for a lot of entrepreneurs. One thing I'm very proud of, over 15 companies have spun off of my company, supported by us. So 15 different employees have started their own companies. Many are bigger than me now. Many are larger than me. And I don't hate that. I love that. I mean, I think that's just a testament to what we believe in. So the next few years is getting the next generation ready to run this company and to take it to wherever they want to take it.
It's incredible, man.
And me work on my golf game.
Work on your golf game. That's something I've been trying to get on myself. A couple seasons ago when we had the bubble, that was like one of our many, I guess one of our limited things to do. And I kind of started getting into myself. So it's not a bad spot to be in, man. Not a bad spot to be in at all.
Excellent. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, honestly, man, that's really, that's it on my end. This has been it's been very educational for me personally. I don't really get to dabble in this side of the community very often. The people that, make our company, make the company go in a sense, with that being the Pacers. We play, we do what we love for a living, but it's kind of cool to see the other side. So, I mean, is there any questions for me, like from you personally, like anything you want to know?
Yeah. So you're the top of your level. You've worked your whole life, and you're just one of the best in the game right now. But someday you're going to have to hang them up. What's your next plan is? What kind of things do you like?
So for me personally, man, I'm like you. I love the process of putting things together. I love what you said about, solving problems and whatnot. Like that's me. Like I love taking pieces. One thing I'm an avid person is like I build things. I build Legos. I build puzzles. I like seeing things come together. So I have my own LLC right now. I have my own company that employs, my circle and my peoples and whatnot. But I want to grow that into something more. And I'm not sure whether I get into consulting. I'm not sure whether I get into actual architecture or anything, but like that kind of side interests me. And I haven't got my degree yet, but that's one thing that would be nice for me, next step for me, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's important that you have a vision so you can be on a path, right? One of the things I try to show young people is doesn't matter what it is, just whatever that vision is. Let's set some paths to get there, right? And the journey is as much fun as getting there. Sometimes once you're there, then you're okay. I'm here now. What? Yeah. but I always make another path. So it's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. So I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you, man.
Well, thank you both so much for your time this evening. And wow, what you gave a lot of great nuggets there, Robert and Myles. You really dug deep to get them out of them. So I appreciate your time as well. And one of my takeaways I wrote about, everybody has a different journey, but just stay on the journey. And it's so true that we all need to persevere because we are gifted in different ways, right? So I just want to thank you for taking time out. And just also a shout out for you being part of our diversity supplier program. Again, it's something that we've launched within the last couple of years, and we are really encouraging other minority business owners to take part and be part of the Pacer Sports and Entertainment family in that way. We thank you for the opportunity to highlight really Black excellence in the community. And we wish you the best of luck as you prepare that next generation of leaders for this space in technology. So congratulations on a job well done. And we look forward to seeing you do bigger and better things. And you too, Myles, coming out of that injury. Thank you so much for your time today.
All right.
Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Myles.